Hey guys, welcome to a What's Up Wednesday! Well, hi guys, we're trying to prep for Tina shooting her video here in the kitchen. So we're very technical here. We have a selfie stick with her phone on it. We have it sitting on the bag of unpopped microwave popcorn to raise the level a little. And we have a little bag of pistachios, that's what it is, leveling out the camera. So we're real technical here on Old People Probs RV.
Hi, this is Tina. I wanted to share with you just some things I do when we're getting ready for travel days. Typically our travel days are, I try to keep them under 5 hours, but this trip is going to be a little longer. We're leaving Texas tomorrow and we're heading to Arizona. And out west, you don't have a lot of stops or opportunities, you know, between point A and point B. So especially on those days, I try to prepare ahead of time. So we have a couple days that are going to be 9-10 hours long. So I want to make sure I'm preparing for breakfast and lunch. And then also we're going to do an overnighter. So we're going to be staying in Van Horn, Texas overnight tomorrow night. And after traveling all day, the last thing I feel like doing is making a big dinner. And so eating out all the time, it just gets expensive. So what I'm doing for dinner tomorrow night is I'm doing chicken pot pie. So what I did was I went ahead and I mixed up my ingredients. So I just used a rotisserie chicken that I had taken all the meat off of. I threw in a bag of mixed vegetables. I pre-cook them just a little bit so they can kind of get a head start on cooking. And then I put in 2 small cans of cream of chicken soup. And then what I'm going to do now is put it into a pie crust. And you know, when you're in an RV, I do have certain bakeware that I use. I mainly try to stick to ceramic, or I try not to do plastic and I try not to do glass, so it gets a little tricky. But I do have my glass dish that I use a lot. So I did take that with me. It's just when we're traveling on the road, I just make sure that it's wrapped up really good so it doesn't break. So anyway, I have a pie crust that I'm going to put on the bottom. And what I do is I do the pie crust on the bottom and the pie crust on the top with the filling in the middle. And then I just follow the rest of the directions on the back as far as how long to bake it. I bake it according to whatever the pie crust directions say. This says to bake it on 350. And then it also, I think it's for like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or something. But I will probably bake this a little longer because a couple reasons. Number one is this is stuffed. So I want to make sure that the inside gets good, and there's my pie crust. Good and done. The other thing is I'm using a convection microwave. So we have an oven. We have a residential stove and oven, which is great, but it uses propane. Propane bakes unevenly, even with the residential oven, and it burns really hot. So I have a hard time kind of estimating how long I need to cook. The other thing is going into where we're going in Arizona first, it's supposed to get down into the 30s. In the evening. It's going to be nice in the day, like in the 60s, but I need to make sure that we have plenty of propane in case we need to run the furnace. So I'm trying to reserve the propane. My convection microwave does pretty good. The only thing is I have to turn it about halfway through, so I just have to be aware of that. So it will take about the same time as an oven, but we'll see how it goes. I'll check it periodically just to make sure that it doesn't get too done, and I want to make sure the crust gets done because soggy crust is never good. Okay, so I got that in here now. Now here's the other thing. I think if you had seen a previous recording, I talked about how stores are different according to where you're at. And so this trip, when I was buying everything to prepare for my prep day, I went to Aldi, and for some reason, I don't know if they were out of them or whatever, but I couldn't find pie crust. And they had, what do you call it? They had crescent rolls and biscuits and all that kind of stuff. And I had one pie crust ready in the fridge, left over from when I didn't use it, but that would only take care of the bottom. So what I did is I bought this crescent roll bag, which I had never even seen a crescent roll bag like this. Usually they're in the tubes. But anyway, I thought I would try it, so we'll see how it turns out. Crescent rolls, you can't go wrong no matter what. So that's going to be my top layer. So, you know, sometimes it's just all about adjusting to what you find and what you have. It's just, you have to be flexible in this lifestyle. So, crescent rolls. Let's see. Check this out. So this is different. So it came rolled up in this thing here. Well, this might work out actually better because I can just kind of roll it across the top. Huh, looky there. All right, well, that's not too bad. So you can kind of see I just left it in one piece, and then I'm going to try to put it all together and see how that works. One of my bad habits is I love raw dough. And so when I do this and I have all this extra dough, it's really hard for me to not eat it. So I'll have to really try to be strong and not eat any of it because it's not good for you. All right, so I'm just kind of patching this all together, making this it's not gonna look pretty, so, you know, it is what it is. It's just Don and I eating it. I'm not going to any kind of potluck or anything, so I don't really care what it looks like. But try to push it all together. And I think I'm okay. Normally I have to poke holes in the top just to let it breathe when it's cooking. However, it already has the little perforations from where, how do you say that word? I don't know. But anyway, it already has like little holes in it. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. I think it'll be okay. I'll lay this aside. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw it in the garbage, because if I don't throw it in the garbage, I'm gonna eat it. So I am throwing it in the garbage. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is, this is my convection microwave. I'm gonna preheat it on 350. So you hit convection and then 350 and start. And then what it does is it preheats, and then when it's ready, it beeps at me. I open the door, put it in, set the time, and then it does its thing. That's what I'm gonna fix for dinner. I go ahead and I cook it. I'll let it cool, and then I'll put it in the fridge. And tomorrow night, when we get to our destination, all we have to do is just cut a piece up and microwave it. And so that'll be really nice and quick and easy. I also fixed tuna salad for tomorrow afternoon for lunch. So what I did is I mixed it all up, put it in the fridge. We'll put it in our cooler. We always take a little cooler in our truck. We'll put it in our cooler, and then I'll take bread, and I always take plastic utensils in the truck also. And so we will have that for lunch tomorrow. So I have lunch and I have dinner covered. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is tomorrow's breakfast. All right, so now I'm working on my breakfast for tomorrow morning, which is going to be sausage and egg burritos. And it's something that I do periodically if I have time. Sometimes our breakfast consists of bagels, sometimes it's overnight oats. But I had a little bit of time today, so I thought I'm going to go ahead and do breakfast burritos. We haven't done them for a while. So what I do first is I set up a station. I browned some sausage, made some scrambled eggs. I chopped up and sauteed some peppers and onions, red and green peppers. And then we like a little bit of tomato in ours as well. So I just took, to make it easy, I just got a can of diced tomatoes and drained them. And I have those set up. I have taco sauce that I put on the meat. And then I have my cheese that I shred at the very end. So I will kind of walk through one with you. I know you can't see me doing this, but I have my tortilla, and I'm putting a little bit of meat on mine. And I don't know about you, but something I really struggle with is overstuffing these things. It's like I think that I'm doing good and I don't have too much on it, and then I go to fold it up and everything's like falling all over the place. So anyway, so I got a little bit of egg on here now. Then I like to put my taco sauce on there so that it flavors the meat. And then I put some buzzing around my head there. Some peppers and onions on top of that. And then I put on just a couple little things of tomatoes. I don't put too much, just a little bit. There's a little bit of tomato on there. And then my cheese, which I like to grate my cheese myself. I know it's easier to just buy it already shredded, but I don't know. It's probably all in my head, but I just feel like it's more fresh when you do it yourself. So I make it a little harder on myself, and I grate a little bit of cheese. Now what I do is I do these, you can do these even a few days ahead. I probably should have done this like a few days ago since we're leaving tomorrow. But what I do is I fold the bottom over and then each side, and makes it a nice little pocket like this. And then I wrap it in parchment paper. So what I'll do is I fold the bottom of the parchment paper over first, and then I fold the one side over, and then the top, and then I just kind of roll it. So then when I'm done, it's all rolled nice and neat. And then what I do is I put it in this baggie, this large bag. I put them in here, and then they're ready to go. So in the morning, what I do is I'll get them out. I'll get 3 out. I usually have 1. Don will have a couple. And then right before we're ready to leave, I'll throw them in the microwave. And I'll put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. And then I put them on a paper plate with some napkins, and I put them in the truck. And then that way, when we're ready, it's right before we leave, so they're still warm when we pull out. So by the time we get out of the park and get on the road, they're still somewhat warm. And then we just kind of unwrap them out of the parchment paper and eat them as we go. So it works out really, really well for us, especially because when we first started out and when we went on vacation, when we had the kids and everything, we did Pop-Tarts for breakfast a lot, or we would do donuts or things like that. And it's like, if you're doing this full time, my pants are telling me you can't do that all the time. So I have to make sure that we're eating healthy and not eating a bunch of high calorie stuff. So I've been trying to do better. So we've been doing good. Something else I did try, I'm making another one as I'm sitting here talking. Something else we did last travel weekend, which was amazingly good, I was surprised, is we had bagels. And so I didn't have time to really fix much stuff. It's my taco sauce. So what I did was I put cream cheese on a bagel. Well, I had these cranberries, these, you know, those where they're dried up cranberries, like raisins, only they're cranberries. So I did that and put cream cheese, put the cranberries on top of the cream cheese, and then I had pecans and walnuts. So what I did was I took the bagel, put cream cheese on it, then I did one side with cranberries, I did the other side with walnuts or pecans. I kind of mixed it up, and then I put it together and I put it in a sandwich baggie, and that's what we had on the road. It was delicious. I was surprised how good it was. So although that's probably not, you know, the best thing to do all the time either, because the cream cheese and the bagel and all that kind of stuff probably isn't the best for you, but it was really good. So if you're in a hurry and you want something quick and you're on the go, that's something that we now I think it's going to become a staple for once in a while. Not every trip, because again, I think it's going to catch up with you if you do it all the time. But it was good, definitely a good alternative, because you get tired of the same stuff all the time. All right, I'm wrapping this one up again, folding it, trying to make it all nice and pretty and not too sloppy. And there we go, there's another one. Let's keep in mind that Don has to eat these while he's driving, so they have to be pretty easy. So the parchment paper makes it nice because he can just kind of roll it down as he's eating it. So that makes it really nice. So we are about good to go. I still have a bunch of these to make, but we have our breakfast now for tomorrow. we have, and whatever we don't use tomorrow and the next day, I'll freeze, because they're great for freezing, and then they're great for a, you know, quick little snack or quick breakfast in the morning. And then the next day we'll have burritos again, and depending on if we have tuna salad left, if not, then I have buffalo chicken in there, and I'll just make sandwiches, buffalo chicken and cheese slices on bread, and we'll just have sandwiches Sunday if it ends up I don't have enough tuna left, or we decide we don't want it again. Something else I do is we always have a snack bag, and we have some staples in our snack bag. This one staple that we cannot go without is Twizzlers. We are a Twizzler family, so we have to have our Twizzlers. And now they have the fruit-filled Twizzlers. I don't know if you have tried them, but they have these strawberry and lemon and orange cream Twizzlers with the fruit in the middle. Oh, that was a bad thing for me to discover, because those are amazing. But anyway, so we have that. Then we usually have some granola bars in there. Dawn likes to have those beef jerky sticks. And then I like to have like some granola bars, and I like to have like pistachios or trail mix or something in there. And then of course we have potato chips and, you know, Doritos and all the stuff that's not healthy for you. So but anyway, we always have a snack bag, so we have something to munch on. And then if you get caught in a traffic jam or something, you got a little go-to there. We also keep a small cooler in the front, and we have, oh, I'm doing this out of order. See, I'm talking and losing track of my workstation here. Gotta put my peppers and onions on here. And we have a little cooler that we put in the front, and that has just some drinks in it. And then we actually have a cooler in the bed of our, what you call the basement, or in the storage underneath the RV. And that's where we store our food, our extra drinks, things like that. And then when we make a stop for gas or, you know, restroom break or whatever it is, if it's lunchtime, we'll go ahead and get our stuff out of there, or if we need more drinks or whatever, and we'll move them over to the small cooler in the truck. So that helps us out a lot, keeps us from making less stops and also spending less money and eating a little more healthy, drinking more healthy. So we do that. And this is in no way, shape, or form what you would have to do, but this is just what works for us. We've been traveling now full-time. We're on our 2nd year, and it's taken me this long to figure out what's going to work best for us. So this seems to work out best for us. But I'm going to go ahead and finish making the rest of these and get them all in the fridge. In the morning, I will get everything out of the fridge, move them to the coolers before we leave. I'll heat up our burritos right before we're ready to pull out. And our snack bag is already in the truck, ready to go, because it doesn't have anything that's needs to stay cold or anything like that in there. And then we're going to hit the road. So if you have something that works for you when whether you're traveling full-time or part-time, or whether you even just go on vacation, what do you do when you hit the road? When you know you have a long travel day ahead, and you know, do you just go ahead and do what we used to do and, you know, hit McDonald's or truck stop or whatever? Or do you know, is there something in particular you like? I'd like to know what you do, because these are things that I've come up with, but I would love to share ideas if there's anything that maybe you would like to share that works for you and your family. So go ahead and put it in the comments, and it'd be fun just to kind of see what everybody does. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to wrap this up, and then I have a lot of packing to do before we leave in the morning. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.